I was responsible for our quality assurance, which all of the standards, they're built on human rights. And obviously Australia's commitment to the United Nations Convention. So when you're getting involved in that,
if you have to distill your conversations and then learnings across life into few lines to define, a purpose or a value, what would that be?
Can you rephrase that? Because I probably don't think of things in that language. Yes.
So if you want to, convert all of that learnings, or if you have to define your purpose or your values or beliefs in few lines, how would you do that?
I firmly believe that people are people. And they need to be seen as whole individuals. I see that principle in so many popular language at the moment. If you're on LinkedIn, there's more and more content about people bringing their whole selves to work, as opposed to, maybe a decade or so ago where it was, you leave your personal stuff at the door. We're whole human beings. We're not robots that flick switches on and off.
Yeah.
And I just think that if you can see someone as another human being, that's a starting point for a connection. And if you have a starting point for a connection, you can find a way to work and, hopefully progress shared interests. Other values that I have, I think a lot of them really boil down to that. It's about people and how people should be treated. The thing that I think really kicked off my passion for the sector or in the sector was one of my first roles. I got thrown into the deep end and I was responsible for our quality assurance, which all of the standards, they're built on human rights. And obviously Australia's commitment to the United Nations Convention. So when you're getting involved in that work and understanding human rights and then looking at people's experiences, I think that's where really my passion has come from throughout, the 10 or so years that I've been in the sector. So I really probably have that one lens, but I think that one lens
covers it all.
When you apply it, it's short and sweet. It brings me back to kind of like a central place. Yeah.
Have you felt conflicted in the work you have done in the last 10 plus years? In situations and scenarios where you feel misaligned with your values and what you are doing or with the people you are engaging, and talk about a scenario that happened, if there is, and what do you do?
Yeah, definitely. I think, and I don't say this in any kind of disrespectful way to people who make the decisions, but I think there's a lot of improvement to be made in the policy frameworks that establish the industry that we work in. I don't think that it really works for everyone that it was meant to work for. I saw that, as I said, I worked in the sector in a disability employment service program. That was kind of the main area that I started in the sector. And that program was really, because I worked on the quality assurance side and also in the business development side, there I saw a lot of conflict because you've got, at the time it was the National Standards for Disability Services, and they were based on the human rights. What do people want? They should have choice, they should have control, etc., etc. And then you've got this funding model that is really about moving people into boxes. This person, sure, they want to be an accountant one day, but their funding, the way the funding structured means that for the organisation to receive funding, this person actually just needs to do an 8-hour-a-week job. Here's a vacancy, let's put that person there. And that person really, if they got a job at, in a horticultural program when their ambition was to be an accountant, are they really, is that a meaningful employment outcome? Is it going to be sustainable if that person's not fulfilled in their employment? I really saw a lot of conflict. And I did leave the sector for a little while, and like I said, I ended up coming back. In the role that I have now, I am concerned about the policy frameworks pushing disability service organisations to have to spend a lot of time considering their sustainability more so than the quality of the outcomes. And compared to many other providers in the sector, we are a smaller organisation. And the impact over the last couple of years throughout COVID, transitioning into the NDIS, changes in regulations, all the stuff all the CEOs talk about all the time, it has had a significant impact. We do have to talk about sustainability because we do want to be here. We want to make sure, as CEO, I want to make sure my clients are going to be supported. I want to make sure my staff have work. I have no intention of turning around to them and saying, hey, sorry, can't, provide you your supports anymore. I'm sorry you don't have a job anymore. I'm sorry you're not going to be able to, provide for yourself, your family.